Good morning, everybody. I'd like to thank the Cumberland County Progressives for inviting me to speak. I do work for the North Carolina Justice Center in our Education and Law project, and I have lots that I could say about racism and our public education system, and I would be happy to come back at a later time or to talk to you individually about that. I'm not here in that capacity as an education outreach coordinator, but there are definitely institutional systems in our public education system that are denying our minority students the right to an education, and that is a big issue in North Carolina and in Fayetteville, especially with the zero tolerance and discipline policies. So anyone who's interested in talking about education and racism and improving education for our minority students, I would love to do that. I've been asked to speak today about media and racism, and that is because at one point several months ago this summer I attacked a racist media organization in Raleigh. I am a Lumbee Indian from Robeson County and grew up in Robeson County my whole life, never left Robeson County until I got into law school. And I did not have a very conceptual understanding of what racism is until I left. Because in Robeson County, I'm the majority. I'm Lumbee, and we're 45% holding it strong down there. So while I never felt like a minority, I did live with the treatment of other minorities. And I would like to begin my discussion with a discussion about brown versus black and how we are all fighting each other. The infighting that is happening in our communities is actually assisting these institutional racisms as they grow, and we continue to fight one another. So I just wanted to give you a short story about my background and why I do the work that I do. When I was in 6th grade, it was actually the summer before 6th grade, and I tell this story all the time, so bear with me, please. And I was in the pool at my best friend's house, and we were playing pretend like young people always do, and we were pretending we had boyfriends. And I went to my middle school, elementary school, high school. I went to predominantly Native American schools. I had maybe 3 or 4 African American classmates in those schools. But the only African American student in my class was my best friend. His name was Shane Blue. And in the pool that day, my friend and I were pretending to have boyfriends, and Shane became my pretend boyfriend because he was my friend. And her mother overheard me calling Shane my boyfriend in this pretend reality that we had created out in the pool. You know, we're laying out, pretending we're grown-ups and had our boyfriends. And I was snatched out of the pool, and my mother was called, and I was taken into the house, and I was berated with questions as to why I was pretending that this little black boy was my boyfriend. Now, mind you, this is not reality. This is a child's young mind, and I did not understand what I had done wrong. And this is the first time I stood up against racism, because I told my best friend's mother, I said, "Aren't you supposed to be Christian?" I said, "Is there any other reason why he couldn't be my boyfriend except for the fact that he's black?" I said, "I don't care if he's green with purple polka dots. He's my friend." And my mother tells that story all the time too, because although I'm a minority, and I'm more of a minority than any black person in the world, I mean, Native Americans in the country have even less of its significance in a modern culture here in America, but we still create someone below us. We always want to be the less subjugated. We always want to find someone else. I find it sometimes in other cultures, other minority cultures, that we attack Hispanic people. Immigrants are often attacked. So that's some background for me as to why I do the work that I do, because I see it in my daily life down in Robeson County that we're fighting one another when we should be fighting the person that has created this mentality. I tell people all the time, you've got slave mentality. You're just accepting it. And they hate to hear that because they think Native American, we weren't slaves, but we were all slaves. We were all slaves to this institutional racism. So, like I said, when I left Robeson County is when I really was slapped in the face with what racism was and the fact that I was a minority. I mean, I was a real minority, and I'd never felt that before. And in law school, there's this radio station in Raleigh called G105, and I became very familiar with the just racist antics. They attack African Americans, Hispanic folks. And one day after law school, it was this summer, they decided to attack my tribe, the Lumbee tribe of North Carolina.